Hi everybody, it's Jake Templeton here from Australia. I'm a Paralympian, and in this week's video I'm going to go through a 6-minute sequence which covers mobility or flexibility, whichever way you want to look at it, and I've incorporated some more movement or active based mobility and flexibility drills and exercises as opposed to static holds, which I would recommend that you perform these after your workout. Now, this routine is something that you can perform before you jump in the pool or as part of a daily wellness or movement style routine. So the first exercise, like all exercises, goes for 45 seconds on, 15 seconds off, on hands and knees, just rotating through the spine. So one way you can do it is by moving your arm directly outwards and rotating with that, or directly upwards and rotating. Both will target the rotation, but just in a different kind of way there. Now, there are 6 exercises, like I said, 45 seconds on, 15 seconds off, and this will go for 6 minutes. So this second exercise here is important for swimming, where we want to be able to point the toes and have mobile ankles. So by rocking forwards and backwards, please be careful. We don't want to injure, especially with flexibility and mobility drills. We want to try and be warm while we do these. We don't want to cause any injuries from overstretching. So by rocking forwards and backwards, we can slowly open up a little bit more each time. I pushed the boundary there a little bit. You might have to use your arms or your hands to support. But by opening up a little bit more each time, we can make that little bit more mobility and that little bit more range, so hopefully we can perform better in the pool. So exercise 3 now, we're moving on to a hip flexor stretch and a hamstring stretch, both incorporated into the same movement. So we'll do half of the time on one leg, half of the time on the other leg. With the hip flexor, we just want to try and open up, push the hips forward. With the hamstring, try and get a straight leg. Some people might be quite tight. My hamstrings are quite tight. Now changing sides now, and for the hamstrings, just try and keep the leg relatively straight, and we're targeting that posterior thigh area to open up there. So this one's great because it allows that free-flowing movement, no static holds, which you don't want to do before jumping in the pool or exercising. Keep that for after, but we're still targeting that increased range of motion at the same time. Movement number 4, we have a upward facing dog moving into a downward facing dog. So typical yoga move here. This one really targets the low back, the upward facing dog. The downward dog, we get into the shoulders there as well as the calves, if you want to walk the calves out or walk the heels of your feet out. So just by doing this, we can rotate in the upward facing dog as well. You can really tailor this to where you're tight. This sequence, you can really target a lot of the areas of the body. So by doing this once again, we can open up the body and increase that range of motion, which we will hopefully use when we're in the water swimming. The second last movement here, I've got this one to open up the pectoral muscles, so the chest, and also get into the shoulder. So by having the elbow at 90 degrees, we'll be getting right up into the shoulder there. And by moving the chest forwards and backwards, when the chest is forward, like this position here, we'll feel more of a stretch. So to do more of a challenge or target a bit more range, move forwards more and more. And to ease off, you can roll the shoulder backwards, so you're a bit more upright. So with this one, this is a very swimming related movement, active movement that you can perform before getting into the pool. This will help your catch. This will help open up the shoulder area in general so that you can get a better pull through the water and hopefully reduce a little bit of tightness that you might have had from yesterday's workout. Now my final active stretch here, or dynamic stretch, is a stretch of the external rotators, which will help with internal rotation. So obviously when you swim, you want to be able to have a good internal rotation. So this part here is the stretch, and then I'm easing off, just pulling the shoulders back, just having a break. Now this part here is the stretch again. So by trying to keep the hands on the side, don't let the hands move forward. That will make the stretch easier, and you won't actually see any improvements in range. You'll just make the thing easier for yourself. But this one does stretch the external rotators, which will make internal rotation come a little bit easier. But obviously we want to have that strength in that movement too. So for any more information, go to my website, www.jacobtempleton.com. Cheers.